Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That's me, the Babbler. That's me on this evolutionary spree of an uprise of downloading a spirit message that I am quickly going to go and just dive into. I asked prior to hitting record for spirit to just give me a sense of, like, you know, clarity, because, you know, scatterbrain be me with all my receivings and stuff like that. So, like, I just be like, so much information, I just wanted, like, a clear direction of a way that I can target what it is that I have to say in regards to what spirit has put on my many brains. So, pretty much just collectively, like, for those of you that are so, like, you know, heightened in sensitivity, just like I, in many kind of ways, and dealing with many kind of ways. Here we go. I'm gonna start with my liners. Are dealing with so many people in many various shapes and forms, and are being triggered still, you know, because that's always going to be a part of our evolutionary cycle to, you know, cycle out what is for us and what's not for us, and that seasons change, you know, people change, you change, so, you know, that is kind of like that. So we are being triggered in a way that is causing us to now, in a healthier state of alignment and being, come to put in that extra work of worth of going in, so that we can comprehend what is being brought into our awareness at this time that needs, you know, to cycle out, be let go, you know. So I shuffled, and the King of Cups came up upside down, and I'm like, okay, Spirit, King of Cups upside down, how does this relate to this feeling that I am feeling about this trigger that I feel many are experiencing in various shapes and forms for whatever, in whichever way of the experience is going to come up for them. And Spirit immediately checked me and said, well, the focus is in on love. What's triggering it is love, this feeling. Because prior to pulling this card, what came up for me was something that keeps coming up for me to understand on a whole level, and just how mindsets and thoughts and previous behavioral patterns can create more of the same like things that once was, or, you know, which you are no longer desiring to be. So when certain things are being triggered into your conscious awareness for you to see, it's not for you to react to these things, but yet to, you know, in a healthy state and of way, to be like, okay, let me third party observe this state that is coming up for me to debate, you know, kind of thing, that is causing this trigger, this feeling, you know. So one of the things that I just know collectively for many of us, you see that we are going to have to constantly keep bringing into our state of conscious awareness at this point in time, until we practice out of the previous misaligned that is no longer part of our path. That in order to do these kind of things, you have to put into practice new things that are going to be the replacement of those kind of behaviors and those kind of behaviors and habits that do not serve. So being conscious and being mindful in this kind of lifestyle, okay, which I can help you with, you know, to put into clear perspective in all my scatterbrain of a state for me, doesn't mean that that applies for how I work and do for others too, because it's always like that. You always can give the best advice to other people based off of your own experience, obviously, and wisdom that you gain over the course of your lifetime and span doesn't mean you necessarily apply it. Most of the time you have learned it in such a hard way because you didn't apply it, and then you're like, dude, look, I'm just letting you know, through my experience. But that's another thing that is no longer part of this conscious experience, to know that my experience, based off of however it is that I receive my wisdom, I should never project onto you my experience. This is why stories should be told, so that way you do not project your story onto another person. That way that the clarity is already made in the beginning of the story. I'm sharing a story with you. Take with it as you may. Like, that's what it means when it says, take what resonates and what doesn't, let it freaking go. Like, you know what I mean? So these are the seeds we sow in our conscious light awareness through our shadow work. You know what I mean? I am a shadow worker in that kind of like labeling system, if you wanted to as a light worker, because what out of the dark emerges light, gifting sight, clear sight, inner sight, if you choose to execute that in wisdom. But anyways, so anything that is being triggered to the surface now for you to identify, see, so that you can uproot, pluck, and get rid of it, you see, you have to go back to the understanding of certain things, which is energy. Anything that is created or that exists in itself is an energy. So any habit, any conditioning that you are a part of, there's no way out of that. We're in a society that has many conditions, many constitutions, many, rules, regulations, ways of doing things that have been taught from generation to generation to generation. These are the things we operate on learned behavior, which is external from our inner lands. Stay with me, guys. I know that I am the ocean. Most of my videos, and I'm going to advise you right now, even spiritually, just freaking say it, girl. Okay, I'm saying it. Many of my videos, you're going to have to replay to let it soak in and marinate as to the expansion and the messages and the wisdom. I used to say, you can't say you're wise, because if you say you're wise, that makes you not wise. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. Okay? Alright, anyways, quickly, because I really have to go. Like I said, I work on a time slot kind of thing, and I have to honor other people's time too, so I do have stuff to do. Even though it's Sunday, every day I work. So there's stuff to do. So, oh yes, there's gonna be a lot of cute, cool new like add-ons and ways to connect with me and schedule time and book time with me and stuff like that. That's gonna be coming up, so stay tuned for that. There's a lot of workings, inner workings, outer workings happening, and just rolling it all out into 3D lands. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. Okay, so and everything, going back to the fundamental root of anything that is created is an energy in itself, right? Just like inanimate objects that you use, the more you use it, the more it carries an energy signature on it. That's why, like, people that are sensitive to energies, that can pick up an object and sense the energies that have been placed or around or absorbed into this inanimate why do I feel like I'm saying it wrong? Inanimate you know what I'm saying. Okay, that was like me pointing to myself, and they were like, girl, you know, align with your shrine and your shine. Okay, back to what I was saying. No scatterbrain, like trying to stay into focus here and try to be this is why I'm Enchantress the Babbler. Do you get it? Is that I'm trying right now, what's happening here is I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to conform a little bit in some sense of speaking clearly and just going and being like all organized in my speech and like try to, you know, convey something to you, like, you know, all like, you know, teacher like folk. But listen, I'm a different kind of teacher. I'm the teacher that everybody, all the fucking students love, like, by the way, which I do because I am a teacher and I teach yoga to kids. But still, they love me. I love them. Anyways, that's another story for, you know, like, I love working with children. So, yes. Okay. And children love me. So, yeah. Like, put them even on here, even if they don't understand a damn thing that I'm saying. Trust me, my energy, my vibes, they'll be like, who's that? I know. Thanks. Yeah, the looks from children, even when I don't speak to them and they see me, it's humbling. It really is. Okay, but I'm not gonna get emotional. Okay, so what was I trying to say? Okay, before I got excited about the children. Okay, so anything and everything is energy. So what's happening now for many of us, that the things that are coming up to purge, is it's just like, you know, this is a long time, years of meditation of trying to understand why certain things work for other people and they don't for others, like, you know, success stories and stuff like that, and then just thinking about the cycling of a system of, you know, just how limiting and constricting, you know, it can be perceived when not further broken down into parts for the person that is from the external side absorbing whatever information or thing that they're receiving, is understanding it, and it's broken down in parts. Like, we break down everything into parts, labels, compartments, and stuff like that, so that our human side can process and understand the functionings of so many things. But in doing so, we forget that we only broke down all of this into parts for our basic human intellectual capacity of brain functioning, of being able to understand the entire function of the whole. So most people, when learning things in parts to understand the whole, forget that these parts are for the whole. And so they download so much of all these parts of a whole of something into these pieces and keep it all separate from the whole. It's like mind, body, heart, and soul, spirit. These are just pieces, Neo. These are just pieces that are parts that make up a whole. So that if we wanted to communicate to others, or even just if we were computing it out loud to ourselves in this vessel of a form that we operate on these 3D lands, the way that we do that is in parts. Because to just say the whole of something to someone that doesn't know what the whole is, like, it's like saying computer. Somebody that doesn't know what a computer is like, computer? ¿Qué? What is that? And you're like, computer. And then you're like breaking it down into its parts to define this, to explain this to someone that is foreign to what a computer is. Right? Granted. Right? Fine. Great. Whew. Whew. It's long. But getting back to what I was trying to say. Oh my god, because I have to go. I really have to go. Might have to finish this later, guys. Okay? So, granted. Fine. Fine. Get back. Focus. So, it's... Alright, so this is like a lifelong study of just mine. I am a researcher, scientist of any kind of sort of, like, just evolutionist that has been doing many of my own damn case studies. Trust when I say that. And I've had plenty of opportunity to have these case studies and all these life trainings too. Just like how now, like, when I see it in its pieces and I'm now viewing it abstractly to see the whole, I am like superbly trained in human evolution and case studies and understanding and just psychology and, you know, other realms of existence, otherworldly existence too. You know, the extra sensory parts of this world that is typically not visibly seen to these 3D eyes, like, but like you can tap in, guys. You know what I mean? Because there's a whole other world, a realm of existence that exists when we close our eyes. Like, what's that? Surprise, surprise. Dark, dark, night, night, time, time. What's this? Black matter? What? Oh, okay. Whole other new later on video that shall be all about and stuff like that. Anyways, so granted, trying to explain this. Imagine being inside my brain. Okay, you think rabbit hole. That's Enchanting Babble, like my blog, what that is even all about. Just like that rabbit hole concept, like take that dive. Once you take that dive, oof, 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 it will blow your mind. Okay, so granted, like, answer me this, guys. This is just like total side note, throwing it in because I've been asking this question since I was a little girl and nobody gives me an answer. Who took care of the first babies? Because, you know, we bottle feed our babies when they come out of the womb, first of all. Who was the first to exit a womb? Rhetorical. Just meditate on it. Just think about all the freaking stories and belief systems and religions and narratives and just your own life now. Take all of that from that outside that has been received to you. Now, go through your own timeline of life from the moment you can remember till now of all your worldly experiences. Now, go in to these worldly experiences through your timeline and go to the functioning system of your internal world that processes, computes, experiences these external experiences. And let's start documenting that. What is truth? Now, based off of the knowledge that you have accumulated through your life experiences, and now that you can separate the worlds, the external and your internal, you have all your notes, external notes, internal notes, and now there's this middle page. What is your truth? What is really real? What resonates? What makes sense based off of your understanding of certain kind of things, which is going to be a lot of my videos about why it's so hard for these humans to fully get into that mustard seed of faith, of believing in spirituality, even if they're fucking religious. I have seen so many religious folks, the majority, 98% of those, and I'm going to trigger a lot of folks right now. Save it for your own meditations of why you're even getting pissed off, that you feel like you need to freaking defend whatever it is that I am entitled to opinionate on based off of my own freaking careful, broken down things of observations that know that even this leveling of understanding that I think I have right now is going to expand and further grow. So I don't even limit what I think I know, because I inner know that this too shall evolve. I ain't saying stuck on stupid. Stuck on keeping coming back. Oh wait, that's gonna be another video for that too. About these hamster wheel life effects of just Karma Sutra coming back to what? This world? Anyways. Alright, so because oh my god, I have to go. Okay. I'm gonna have to continue what I was speaking about on this here. I'm gonna actually make a note of what it is that I'm trying to say here, just about energies. So, anything. So it's just kind of like, alright, quickly, just so that I don't end it on just like up in the air, even though I could do that. Oh, this one's gonna be up in the air. That's the title of this one. Up in the air. Up in the air. Channeling up in the air, because I gotta go. Okay? So, yeah. So the things that are coming up now for you that are looking to be purged and, aligned properly. It's not meant for you to emotionally react to the same, like, it's like crying over spilt freaking milk. Like, no, like the same, no. This is beyond that now. This is coming up because you're being triggered with an emotion that is resurfacing, that for you to identify the root of why that current emotion is being felt in this now experience, what past experience from your life experience that is being brought up now in this new experience through this new circumstance that is highlighting for you this golden opportunity to say, hey, I remember you, this feeling, this, because you're, Spirit doesn't want you to, see, the king here is balanced. When he's upside down, something in his element of his cup that's supposed to be overfloweth, and solid, is not, oh, okay, I hear it. It's like being at a crossroads, or being at like the Two of Wands comes to mind, like intuitively. The Two of Wands comes to mind, where you're holding your wands and you're looking out into the world, like your world, and you're trancing, channeling, and just like feeling your spirit and your truth of what you're going to do next. What's your next move? Reflective, introspective, like, that kind of thing. Be there, because what's being run as a risk here of repeating and doing a new kind of misalign for not properly catching something in time, which is what this video is all about. Hopefully, you know, it resonates, and let whatever is going to resonate and seed in whatever. Like, I'm going to elaborate more on this later. I just truly have to go. Yeah, so, granted, fine. So, what's happening in some of these triggers that are happening now, many are going into this like hanged man kind of like positioning, so that they don't necessarily react in the same kind of way, but they're hanging there too long. I know divine right timing and stuff like that, but it's like justifying the position, and instead of digging more while hanging, you're just hanging in this state of like denial of allowing this position to justify why no choices are being made, or nothing, no solution is being created. It's co-creation. You can't just hang and say, oh, and that, because you know, you feel that solid faith of like, spirit got my back, universe got my back, when it's clear and all is clear, and I know like they're gonna let me know. That's like passing the buck to somebody else, like, you take care of it. When all of this that's occurring is the strengthening process of our practice of solution, healthy solution based ways to transmutation. This is the art of transmutation, because going back to the root of energy, anything that has been created to exist, even if it's a habit, a behavior, something that you're trying to break, or, you know, kill, vibe, no longer part of my line. Like, I don't want to do this anymore at this time. It's like me when I had to give up smoking. You know what I mean? Like, the breakdown of those roots of the pollutes that create, like, you know, these behaviors, these habits, these things that do not align with you now, that you're like, dude, like, come on, like, breaking of these patterns, these chains that keep us tied in that kind of way. So the reason why so many people fail at these kind of things is because they externalize that solution too. Like, oh, spirit's gonna, now for those that are like tuned in and real charged up on spirit kind of activity, and like, you know, heightened sensitivity, and owning their like gifts and their talents, and like, you know, these things that they're now finally starting to like just, you know, shine in and rhyme in and align in and continue to grow and expand on. It's like, oh, leaving it to spirit, universe, to like that, like that religious condition perception of how they got all these religious folks and their blind faith, supposedly believing in this blind faith, but yet all of their behaviors, actions, and habits, like, if we want to really break it down into parts, because I got this, in no way supports that blind faith of a belief system that they so spewed out their mouths. Truly. So it's just like people that tried different diets. I'm trying this diet because that person had a success in that, doing it this way. then I try and it don't freaking work, and you know, woe to me, harsh to me, critic to me, you know, loser is me, you know, that kind of thing. So no. So what's happening here is like you're at this crossroads of being finer tuned or backsliding into more of that other kind of collective energy that is being left in that vortex behind, that is no longer part of your peas of a pod that flock together, that will suck you right back into that procrastination or that hindrance that doesn't allow you to speak your truths even more so. So what's happening here in the love department of certain things that are happening is too much control of one's own emotions, believing that all is going to work itself out, so they do nothing about it and hold out. That's denial. That's not dealing with your feelings. And that's not being this high level of honest that you need to be for yourself. I have to go. Stay tuned for part 2.